Fernando Mendoza, he was throwing today at Indiana's Pro Day. Plenty of scouts in attendance to watch Mendoza and other members of the national champion Indiana Hoosiers do their thing. And who's there scouting it for us but Louis Riddick in the building for today's workout, joining NFL Live now. Louis, what did we see from Mendoza today?
A lot of good stuff, Dan. A lot of good stuff. I think the thing that's most impressive, though, about Fernando really doesn't have anything to do with the field. It's his presence. It's when you sit and you talk to him, you look him in the eye, you look at his body type, you look at the way in which he kind of gets on with the rest of his teammates, with his coaches, the way in which he took charge of this workout, announcing every receiver before they ran their route and announcing what the route was going to be, interacting with them in between routes, giving them breaks when he sensed that they were getting tired. And then, look, obviously all the things that he wanted to show scouts right now, if he really needs to impress any other team other than the Las Vegas Raiders, in terms of his ability to operate from under center, execute 3, 5, 7-step drops, half rolls, boot passes, throw on the move, throw with touch, throw with horsepower. He has all of that. He showed all of that. Now, some people would say, well, it doesn't really matter if he showed it in the pro day. Can he do it in the game? Well, he also threw 41 touchdowns and won the national title and won the Heisman Trophy. So he was doing something pretty good when there was actually 11 on 11 with pads, too. To me, he has nailed this entire process. He played the season at the highest level he could possibly play it at. When you talk to him and you really try to assess his football acumen, his personal and football character, he grades out A+ on all of that. And then as far as his physical attributes and the way in which he can throw the football, in the way in which he projects to the NFL, to me, he's the slam dunk #1 overall pick for the Las Vegas Raiders, and nothing will move me off of that. I'd be shocked beyond belief if that doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, I think at this point, I think most people would be shocked. Thanks, Louis. And you mentioned that, when you had a chance to sit down with him, he's impressive. You did, in fact, have a chance to sit down with him. We want to show the people a little bit of that interview from earlier today.
I felt great. I think it was great to get back on the field, my guys. We had 9 eligibles coming out to the draft, which is a lot. We were able to get a lot of throws in there. And my thing is I wanted to best serve my teammates.
Yeah.
And so although we had a lot of guys, we got a lot more throws than a lot of quarterbacks in their pro days. But I wanted my guys to be able to showcase what they got in front of all 32 NFL teams and routes and timing and footwork that is really applicable to the league.
Right.
Not just some crazy, whatever.
I got
some stuff that it can actually get translated in the game. And nothing against that. Just
of course.
But just want to best showcase us and why we were so efficient this year and why we were so effective as well.
Fernando Mendoza getting us started today on NFL Live. I'm Dan Graziano here with Field Yates and Booger McFarland joining us as well. Mendoza, look, guys, we're pretty sure he's going to go #1 to the Raiders at this point. So he's talking about why he's doing this. He wants to help his teammates look good for the scouts that are in attendance. But when we look at Mendoza, Booger, why is he the guy that's going to go #1 overall?
Well, I think simply put, he's the best quarterback that's available to be drafted this year. I think the combination of size, when you look at 6'4", 230 pounds, of accuracy, being able to throw the football accurately, his decision-making. You talk to people in Indiana, they talk about a couple of things, his decision-making and his ability to process information. Those things get my ears perked up, guys, because I've said all along, I don't care how tall a quarterback is, I don't care how far he can throw the football. That position has to be a decision-making, process information position, and he does it as good as any quarterback in this draft. Matter of fact, he does it better, I think, than any quarterback in this draft. And then the last element for me is a bit of toughness. You go back, and I'm talking about mental and physical toughness. Mental toughness. Your team is down. It's the last 2 minutes of the game. It's Indiana versus Penn State. Go back to the Big Ten championship game. The season is on the line. Watch Fernando Mendoza play in clutch time, and then watch the opening hit of the Big Ten championship game. He gets shellacked, he gets back up, he comes back in the game, and he performs at a high level. So I think he checks all the boxes, and of all the quarterbacks that are available this year, he fits the bill when it comes to all those things I listed, and I think he's the best available.
Yeah, Bill Parcells had his legendary quarterback commandments in the draft, and Fernando Mendoza checks a lot of the boxes that he was looking for during his evaluations. The size, very good, nearly 240 pounds. You could see it, by the way, at the Pro Day. Without the pads, you could see just how well-built Fernando Mendoza is. 35 starts as well, above the threshold that NFL scouts and decision-makers would like to see from a player at the collegiate level. Full field accuracy with good to very good arm strength as well. Clutch production, a big-time trait for Fernando Mendoza. Boog mentioned the Penn State game, the Ohio State game. How about, of course, the biggest play of the college football season, his rushing touchdown against Miami in the national championship game that effectively sealed that game and gave the Hoosiers their first ever national championship in football. I do think, though, as we get closer and closer to this process, even though we know he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, it's worth noting the areas for Fernando to continue to develop that are going to have to change when he gets to the NFL. 2 seasons ago, when he was playing at Cal, he trailed only Shedeur Sanders in terms of sacks taken at the FBS level. This past year, he cut his sacks taken down by about 50%. Some of that is attributable to the fact that he improved in that regard, some of which is a better offensive line as well. His sack avoidance is a trait that Clint Kubiak's going to have to work on every single day because the consequences for Indiana last year weren't that significant, right? They were 16-0. They were the best team in college football. When you're playing for the Raiders, a sack taken could be the difference between a win or a loss, and you just pile those up on top of each other, and you're playing from behind way too frequently.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak and the Raiders coach is eager to get to work. Mendoza likely to be the 6th player ever to win a Heisman Trophy national championship and be picked first overall.
Seems good to me.
Yeah, it's a solid list. I'll go through it later if we have time. To Pittsburgh now, where the Steelers still await word from Aaron Rodgers on whether he wants to play for them again this year. Team owner and their new head coach were at the owners' meetings earlier this week in Arizona and provided some updates on the process.
I have not talked to him. Coach has been in contact with him pretty regularly, and I think the decision is probably coming soon. I would say by the draft, I expect an answer, yeah.
2006 was my first time doing this, and the first question was about a veteran quarterback, whether he's going to come back or not. So it's a big deja vu. But no, it's going good. It's been very positive, and we'll just continue to talk. So I'm not going to really get into timelines. So we're in constant communication. Talked to him last night, so we're in a good space, and we'll just continue to work through it.
Did you tell him last night that you were going to get 50 questions about him?
No, I didn't. He says hello. So.
Mike McCarthy having Brett Favre flashbacks and also a little bit of a flex on how long he's been an NFL head coach, which is pretty good. Booger, what do you make of all this Aaron Rodgers Steelers stuff?
You know what, Graz? It just amazes me that a franchise that has been searching for a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger, and I mean searching, they've gone from Kenny Pickett to everybody you can think of. They're still sitting here less than a month from the draft, and they got no clue what they're going to do at quarterback. I get it. Mike McCarthy has familiarity with Aaron Rodgers, and that may be the road that they go down. But is it not only for a year? When are they going to get the long-term answer? Yeah. So I just find it really shocking that this franchise, of all franchises, after you move on from Mike Tomlin and he decides to retire, that we're back at the same question again. What are we going to do with Aaron Rodgers? As if he's going to get younger from last year to this year.
Well, no, that is one of the few things Aaron Rodgers cannot do is get younger. One of the other big offseason stories in the NFL is Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and his recovery from a season-ending knee injury. Unclear how much time he's going to need to be ready for next season, but Chiefs owner Clark Hunt seems to be reading some tea leaves from the league on the Mahomes front. He told reporters at the meetings that the team is not expected to start the season in Seattle on opening night, saying, quote, I don't think that's on the table anymore. I think from a league standpoint, there would be some concern whether Mahomes would be ready to go. Obviously, the point is that Chiefs Seahawks in week 1 would have a lot more appeal if Mahomes was in it. Field, what do you think?
I think people are reading between the lines a little bit too much here, Graz. Not suggesting by Clark Hunt that Patrick Mahomes won't be ready, but even if there's a 2% chance that he is not going to be ready for week 1, does the NFL want to schedule what will be one of its biggest, most anticipated games of the entire season, whether it's played in week 1, week 10, or week 15, in an opportunity where you could have Justin Fields in place of Patrick Mahomes? I think that's probably the more simple answer here, is that hopefully Patrick Mahomes is ready in week 1. Maybe there's some confidence he will be, but if there's even a 2% chance he won't be, I risk it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, we're going to follow this story all through the offseason. We'll see what the timetable is Andy Reid said he wouldn't bet against him
I won't either.
earlier this week. Speaking of Andy Reid, Chiefs having a little April Fool's Day fun, putting out a post claiming you can buy an Andy Reid disguise for the small price of $15.87. That's a significant number to Chiefs fans. 15, Mahomes, 87, Travis Kelce.
That one works.
That's
I like
right.
it right there. As
Got
somebody
us
who can't grow a
wondering
mustache.
if we could buy this, but you don't have to because we can put the disguise on it. What do you think? I think that looks good.
You know, I'm going to wait for my
Field
wife
automatically
to weigh
looks
in.
old.
Come on now, Boog.
They found a way to make Field look old. Booger looks.
You look jolly right there, Boog.
Yeah, that looks good, man. What do you think? I think that's quality on Booger. I think we should really get some of these.
I'm not so sure that a dark-skinned brother is going to have a blonde mustache. I'll just leave it at that.
Blonde mustache and a white nose, honestly, for that matter. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is it. It's never looked better than it does
there
right
he is.
here.
Look at it.
That's
I
for
feel
sure.
like you could pull a mustache
Looking
off
like a
just
low-grade
fine.
porn star. Look at
It's
it.
the offseason.
Come on, now we're on national TV, Boog.
For now, we are in fact just getting started on NFL Live, we think. The Eagles offense struggled last season. We're starting to get some answers as to why. We're going to unpack